Hey guys, welcome back to UVM Testbench from scratch for the D Flipflop design. Now let us move on to the connect phase. In the previous video, we have already seen testbench architecture and also the top-down approach for this testbench. So let us get into the code and write the connect phase. So if you look at the testbench top, I have included all the files here which we have created as testbench components. Now in the interface, we have only declared our input output signals of our DUT as logic. In the test and other classes, we have created or we have done with the build phase. What we do in the build phase is a function with the name build underscore phase. The build phase contains the lower components. If we have environment class inside our test class, we need to create that environment class component in the build phase. Similarly, in the other classes, if you look at the architecture, whichever the class having the lower component, that we are going to create in the build phase. That means building the components. Now comes the connect phase. What we do in connect phase is also a function void connect phase. We need to pass UVM phase here, and super dot connect phase of phase refers to the parent class connect phase. And here just I am printing a message as this is a test class connect phase, and I am displaying it as connect phase, and the verbosity is UVM medium. So in the connect phase, what we are going to write here, connect the components. So in the build phase, what we did the creation of the lower components. In the connect phase, we are going to connect those components. If you look at the testbench architecture, within the test, what we have only environment. Do we have two lower modules? No. What environment consisting of? It consisting of scoreboard as well as agent. So there is a connection in between. Scoreboard and monitor are connected through an environment module. If you look at the environment, it has a connection in between scoreboard and monitor. We need to do this connection in environment, remember. Similarly, if you look at the agent, the lower component of agent is sequencer and driver. There is a connection we need to make in between sequencer and driver in a agent. So agent and environment will be having connect phases. Only agent and environment will be having connect phases. There is no need of any other connect phases needed in other testbench components of UVM. So let us jump on to agent first, and let us connect driver and sequencer. So I have written here function void connect phase, UVM phase, and I am displaying a message as it is agent class and connect phase. Agent class is the ID for the UVM info, and the message it is going to print is connect phase. So here what we are supposed to do, we need to connect the sequencer to driver. Why? Because the transactions will flow from sequencer to driver. So the sender is sequencer, the receiver is driver here. So we need to use the port here. Let me write here connecting driver sequencer using TLM ports. So transaction level modeling is the concept of UVM, which provide the standard ports as sequence item port and sequence item export. So clearly observe here, the driver is going to receive. The driver will be having sequence item port, SEQ underscore item underscore port is the keyword for that. DRV dot sequence item port refers to the receiving port of the driver. Dot connect, sequencer will be having sequence item export. Sequencer is exporting here. So what it is going to export? The transaction. The transaction is sequence item. So DRV is our driver class handle. Dot sequence item port will be connected to sequencer. SEQR is my handle for the sequencer. Dot sequence item export. This is what we need to write in the connect phase of agent. Why? Because agent will be having sequencer and driver connection. Then comes the another connection between the scoreboard and monitor in environment block. So let us jump on to environment. In the environment, again the build phase is over. We have created agent and scoreboard. Now monitor and scoreboard connection we need to make. This monitor will be present inside the agent. So in the connect phase, let us write function connect phase. You can see here we need to connect monitor MON over here and SCB is my scoreboard. We need to connect here. How we need to connect? Monitor is not directly available in the environment. Monitor is present inside the agent. That's why agent is the handle I am going to use. Within the agent we will be having monitor. What is the name of that? MON. So here agent dot MON dot item collected port. Item collected port is the port of the monitor. Connect SCB. SCB is the handle of the scoreboard. Dot item collected export. We need to connect to the item collected export of the scoreboard to the item collected port of the agent. So here we are making the connection between scoreboard and monitor using analysis port. This is the analysis port of the UVM. We need to make use of that and connect agent to monitor, the monitor collected port to the scoreboard item collected export. So this is about the connect phase. Connect phase will come only in the environment and agent. Driver, if you look at driver in our testbench architecture, does this driver contains any internal components? No. So there will be no connections over here. Driver and sequences are connected, but their connection we need to make it in the agent. Through agent they are connected. Similarly, in environment we have scoreboard and agent. Within the agent we have monitor. But that's why monitor to scoreboard connection we are doing in environment. And if you look at monitor will be not having any lower components. So we are not connecting anything over there. Similarly, sequencer will be having the components sequence and sequence item, but those two are not components and we need to handle those two separately. Let us discuss it later. So this is about the connect phase of our UVM test bench. We need to use the connect phase in the agent as well as in the environment. In the next video, let us see run phases, and run phase will be a task and how the run phase is going to be written in the different test bench components. Thank you.